Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. XRP still seeing a bit of a slump, guys, today. Right now, XRP trading at 65.7. So we have seen it cascading down over the last several days, but, it has nothing to do with XRP specifically. That's the thing I really want to reiterate here. We were hoping, let me throw it on the 2 hour so you guys can see that trend a little better. We were hoping that we could maintain this level of support, and now, as you guys can see, we are drifting slightly under that. But XRP still maintaining that initial level. Remember, mid-month last month, we did see this huge increase for XRP. So, the worst thing that we could have seen is something like this, for it to basically go down right away. But we have seen it maintain its price, and this ultimately is based on a bigger market move. So, let's just take a look here. Let's throw up Bitcoin real quickly here. You guys can see Bitcoin is not really faring too well either. Today, Bitcoin right now trading at around 29,100. This is, again, the 2 hour chart. Let me get rid of that. Let me throw it on the 1 day just to show you guys that even though Bitcoin is drifting and has been drifting downward, let's say for the last 20 or so days, and even drifting sideways for the last about month and a half, we as a crypto community should not be panicked, because overall, guys, this trend is still looking very, very bullish. And we should be taking advantage of these opportunities, buying any kind of dips that we see, making sure we're in the game for those bigger macro moves. Nick here on Twitter posting this: I strongly believe that XRP could be trading anywhere between $8 and $12 at the top of the next major run-up. This is going off a fully diluted market cap of 800 billion to 1.2 trillion. Wait, before you comment and say market cap is way too high, take a second to sit back and think. So he is considering the XRP market cap. And just as a side note for my patrons, I'm also looking at market caps when talking about diversifying into new coins. Here's what he's saying, though. Many were projecting Ethereum to hit $10,000 to $20,000 during the 2021 bull run. Let's say Ethereum goes anywhere between $7,000 and $10,000 in this next run up. That is roughly a 840 billion to $1.2 trillion market cap. So he's looking at other coins and seeing what is reasonable for, well, in this case, Ethereum. He also mentions Bitcoin here. He says Bitcoin has hit nearly 1.4 trillion during the 2021 run-up, and we can assume it will make a new all-time high in this next run-up. Let's say BTC hits 2 trillion plus in market cap. Would it be fair to say Ethereum would have roughly 800 billion to $1 trillion, and that would be roughly 50%? And so then he says, if so, I strongly believe that now more than ever before, XRP has a good chance of flipping Ethereum in market cap. Why? Well, for starters, it already has multiple times in the past. Let's not count 2021 due to the lawsuit. Also, there is a lot more substance tied back to XRP today than in 2017 and 2018, which we all know XRP shined through during those times. So because of what XRP now has backing it, even though we are not seeing, extreme FOMO happening right away, which, it was a possibility. We were open, to see maybe something like this. And, this could still definitely happen. This next bull run, he is comparing it to 2017, 2018, which I think is a good comparable. This is when XRP saw its all-time high. And why this is good is because people were excited about XRP here, and there was no lawsuit hindering performance. Here, where we're getting more information about partnerships, obviously the XRPL had been developed more. However, we had the lawsuit looming like a dark cloud over our heads. And now, guys, we have the best of both worlds. We have even more partnerships than even down and around here, but we also do not have a lawsuit similar to when we saw the all-time high back in 2018. So I get his point here. Let's also not forget XRP did flip Ethereum. For those of you guys who were here, you probably do remember that. XRP has 100% clarity now. ODL continues to expand rapidly. Ripple plans to expand ODL in the US. The XRPL grows day by day, relisting on major exchanges, and much more. In my opinion, I think XRP has far better odds now of flipping Ethereum in the next run up, and this could amount to an $8 to $12 XRP. So an interesting perspective here from Nick. I don't doubt it, even just taking a look at the Fibonacci. As we know from the last top that we saw all the way down to the trough of the market, that brings us to an XRP worth about 7 and change, was it? $7.30, give or take. So an $8 XRP, I think, is totally doable, and even a $12 XRP, well, taking the Fibonacci from the all-time high down to the trough, we can see that the top here hits about $13.76. So I think it's completely doable. We just have to wait and see about macro market moves, how popular cryptocurrency is going to be, how much hindrance we're going to see from the SEC, guys. And this is, again, why I'm starting the Patreon. I'm changing up my strategy here, $5 a month. Not going to dwell on this, but want to let you guys know you can follow me trading, and my portfolio is completely transparent. I'm throwing in $10,000 in the market. I'm just going to show you guys what I'm trading this time around. Speaking of the Patreon, if you guys have tried to sign up and maybe were not able to, Patreon did, in fact, send me this, that they had issue with their payments. So if you guys were getting rejected, just try again, because some changes are taking effect in the back end for their payments. So a bit of a public service announcement there. Yesterday, we also got some news, guys, that Bitstamp had a big announcement. Anyone feel like Bitstamp hyped up the XRP announcement for nothing when it's only a lame 2%? So for those of you guys who may not be aware, Bitstamp has now said that you can earn more by lending XRP. A permanent 2% APY increase is now unlocked, and a lot of people in the XRP community seem very disappointed about this. Bitstamp, don't ever say taking XRP to the next level ever again. That's some BS, says Alex Cobb here, and JV just laughing at that, retweeting it out. Mickle down here saying, lend your XRP, possibly lose it all for 2%. I will pass. So this was the official announcement from Bitstamp. Level up your XRP with a permanent 2% APY. Lend XRP with confidence via Bitstamp. Earn lending. Aim high with a boost that's here for good, and you can find more info here. So, I mean, if that's something you guys are interested in, I'm personally not locking my XRP up anywhere. I'm keeping it in a cold wallet storage solution. It's too valuable for me to risk it for a measly 2%. Also, I'm in the same camp here. XRP Darren also saying, you hyped us up with total nonsense, Bitstamp. We want every coin that you have issued on the XRP ledger. That is the only way to make good on this 2% BS. Treasuries are at 5%. Why would we give you our XRP for 2% when we can get riskless 5% from treasuries? Maybe they did not think this through that well. The crypto philosopher down here saying, treasuries at 5% and riskless. Please explain. XRP Darren responding here, PayPal, Robinhood, etc. are offering you 4 to 5% on your cash, CDs or money market accounts, or you can buy on Treasuries Direct. The risk is that the government goes bankrupt if you purchase from treasurydirect.gov, and even XRP World One here saying, I get 8% APY at nexo.io. So again, guys, be careful. This is your investment. This is not something to make light of, and I know 2% might sound appealing for some of you guys, but again, we're in a very different situation now with the SEC breathing down American crypto companies' necks, trying to get this regulation sorted. XRP Crypto Wolf also posting just an article to the fact that, the XRP community was a little underwhelmed by this announcement. So the 2%, this move is aimed at enticing XRP enthusiasts and those seeking to earn yield by utilizing their crypto. Notably, the boosted APY is set to be a permanent feature on the exchange. As noted in the press release, Bitstamp ensured that lending occurred only to reputable institutions backed by rigorous risk and credit assessments through a partnership with Tesseract. Despite these efforts, though, the announcement fell short of expectations of the XRP community. Anticipation had been running high in hopes that it was something really, really exciting. But alas, we've been through a lot, and 2% just doesn't wet most of our palates. The disappointment resonated throughout the XRP community, though, leaving many feeling like they had been held hostage to their own expectations. Wow, what a dramatic article here. Nevertheless, wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf just for bringing that to our attention. Now, we got more, guys. Bigger than Enron, bigger than Madoff. This coming from Mr. HBAR here, retweeting out Crypto Laws tweet. Breaking news, Empower US releases a trove of new SEC emails obtained in multiple FOIA requests. Lubin played a much more central role than previously known in driving Hinman's thinking and goals in the 2018 Ether speech. So, Empower US posted this just yesterday, guys, following 2 years of Freedom of Information requests and litigation. The SEC Commission has now turned over their new documents in response to the FOIA requests. And here's essentially what we got. I will link this, though, in the description if you guys want to read the full detailed synopsis, but the new document establishes Joe Lubin and his company Consensus played a much major central role than previously known in driving then SEC Director of Corporate Finance William Hinman's thinking and goals with its controversial June 14, 2018 cryptocurrency speech. Lubin also appears to have been responsible for bringing Hinman and Ethereum creator Vitalik Buterin together as the speech drafting advanced. Lubin and Consensus are a prominent third-party promoter of Ether, which was the focus of Hinman's speech. See the documents here. Investors and attorneys closely associated with Ethereum were prominent on the list as of March 28, 2018, meeting on a crypto safe harbor proposal. And in August 2019, email proves that Hinman met with Simpson Thacher partner Chris Lin. Well, Lin was representing Canaan a crypto minting client before Hinman's division on its IPO. This was contrary to the advice on conflicts of interest rules about which the SEC Ethics Office has repeatedly warned Hinman since he was receiving millions of dollars in payments from Simpson Thacher while at the SEC. So I'm sure if you guys have been following the ETHgate thing, a lot of this makes sense. And the SEC just proves, I guess, even more now how corrupt the SEC truly is. Getting these FOIA requests were a feat. However, I wanted to thank Empower US here and Crypto Law here on Twitter and Mr. HBAR just for letting us in on that. Wheezy too, just posting this short clip of Joseph Lubin. Remember when Ethereum Joseph didn't want to speak with the SEC?
So first, our lawyers have requested that we never use the term ICO, basically so that we don't have to talk to the SEC very much or can potentially speak with them much less.
Like, how shady is that? Come on, put it down in the comments. Super shady, super shady. Moving on to more Ripple and XRP related news. Palau stablecoin is a big deal. This coming from Mark Phillips here on Twitter. What might also be a big deal that's being overlooked is the retail digital wallet facilitated by Ripple. So just talking a little bit more about the Palau stablecoin project. Will digital wallets be another white label service for banks, credit unions, and other financial institutions? And guys, here's a photo of what looks to be something that is being used in Palau to send money. You got payment path here, my wallet address. So a Ripple enabled, you got the Ripple logo right up here too. So Mark Phillips talking about a white labeled wallet solution. And maybe we're going to see more of these in the coming years. This was something that we were talking about years ago too, that, the fact that Ripple can white label essentially their product and license it out to banks. I mean, there's a time when we were all thinking, well, why isn't Ripple just become a bank? Or, why do they, they could basically bowl over Western Union and MoneyGram by creating their own money sending service that would just, take those guys out of business. Clearly, it's been a few years and we realize that that has not been their strategy. They want to work with these companies. They do not want to put them all out of business. So it's the symbiotic relationship. And so, this is why these questions now are coming about a white label service for banks and credit unions where, the bank or credit union or financial institution can still have their logo on the product. However, Ripple is essentially the back-end processing provider for that. So Jay Hunter Anson here saying, Republic of Palau stablecoin pilot project volunteer onboarding efforts continue at the Bureau of Customs and Immigration office in Konar. And here's just another shot of that Ripple wallet. You guys can see the name here is blacked out. We got balance, send money, pull payment, my wallet address, so on and so forth. So interesting news there coming out of Palau. I wanted to thank Mark Phillips for posting that. Another observation here too from Alex Cobb, guys. Breaking XRP ETF incoming. Are we going to see an XRP ETF? And what will this mean for institutional funds flowing in? Ripple News here, he says, ex-CFTC attorney sees XRP ETF potential amid a rampant crypto ETF filing spree. So this coming out just yesterday, guys. Could the XRP ETF finally be a reality? Pontificating on the speculation is Mike Selig, a former lawyer with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. He has taken the opportunity to highlight the case for an XRP ETF. His perspective brings to light XRP's unique legal position in the U.S., sparking curiosity about the potential impact on the ever-evolving cryptocurrency market and paving the way for exciting investment opportunities. Mike Selig offered his views on the possibilities of Ethereum ETFs in the light of the growing anticipation for a Bitcoin ETF. His perspective includes factors such as key speeches and regulatory figures, the SEC FinHub framework, and relevant court decisions involving digital assets. Now, considering XRP has clarity, I don't see why that wouldn't make sense. I mean, if a spot BT ETF is on the horizon, he says, a spot Ethereum ETF can't be far behind. With the Hinman speech, the SEC FinHub framework, and judicial decisions in Ripple and Terraform, the use case grows stronger each day that Ethereum is not a security, even if it was initially sold as one. So lumping BTC, ETH, and XRP in that same for that same categorization to potentially make an XRP ETF. The case for an XRP ETF appears even more compelling as it's the only digital asset that has been ruled as not a security in the infamous case with the SEC. And then down here it says XRP ETF, a real possibility. With XRP's legal status settled, the discussion is now shifted to its potential as an ETF. Selig's insights have brought to the forefront the strong foundation that XRP has in terms of legal clarity. Set itself apart from other digital assets. So again, guys, let's remind ourselves that XRP has that clarity, that institutions can now get really excited about trading XRP. I mean, 65 cents at this moment in time. This is just retail still, having a bit of fun, and this retail pump, obviously based on the SEC verdict. But I could see it. I seriously could see this, being a reality in the US sometime in the near future. Anyway, wanted to thank Alex for posting that. More info too, guys, with Ripple Partner Digital Dollar Project. They've concluded their pilot study into new digital currency opportunities alongside Western Union, BDO, Unibank in the Philippines, and Accenture. And Mike Manfield here just reiterating, DBO, Unibank, and Accenture are both Ripple partners. So here's what's going on with that. The Digital Dollar Project has concluded their pilot study. Their objective was to conduct research and explore possibilities of central bank digital currencies in the US. So in the US specifically, CBDCs would be backed by the Federal Reserve, making them more reliable and stable than other cryptocurrencies currently in circulation. The pilot study examined how CBDCs could be utilized for cross-border remittances using distributed ledger technology to create an infrastructure that converts digital US dollars to Philippine pesos. Kevin Mole, global head of digital assets at Western Union, commented, through this pilot study, Western Union has identified several advantages for customers and financial institutions, laying the groundwork for ongoing evaluations of the feasibility and viability of utilizing retail CBDCs for cross-border remittances. The study found that CBDCs could benefit the unbanked and underbanked by being faster and more accessible and transferable and reduce the amount of failed transactions. They also highlighted the CBDCs could make transactions at a lower cost, reduce risk through instant settlement. So obviously all things that we know DLT does solve for very, very well. The study found that CBDCs could benefit the unbanked and underbanked by being faster and more accessible and transferable and reduce the amount of failed transactions. So, I mean, I'm still skeptical. They do need to put in a privacy clause. I think that is what what we're all kind of worried about with regards to CBDCs if they do abolish cash, which it's looking as though more and more they are working towards. And guys, I've been saying this now for months. Try to use cash at least once a week to prevent this from happening. If we can do our part, obviously, that is better than sitting around and just using our stupid credit cards all the time. Anyway, wanted to thank Mike Manfield here for posting that. And boom, more massive news here, guys. This one from Cyprus Demenincore here on Twitter. The current population of India is 1.4 billion. Okay, these are recent numbers. He brought up two documents here that I wanted to go over. The path forward for digital asset adoption in India. I don't know if you guys remember back in 2018 when Ashish Birla stated, even then in 2018, that Ripple had 50% of India. Okay, this is not new news. Again, from 5 years ago, Ripple claims its 50% share in India is inroad to the global market. Ashish Birla did comment on this in a speech back in 2018. And so it says it here. He spoke on a panel at the Wharton School of Business about how Ripple went about gaining a majority market share in order to plant its roots in the world economy. And so, just going back to what Cyprus Demenincore here says, the population 1.4 billion. Ripple is mentioned not only in this 2020 document, but also in a 2023 document. So this is a policy perspective on the state of play of digital assets globally and recommendations for Indian policymakers. If we scroll down here, let me just get to where I want to be here. Okay, down here it says, all this friction and deadweight cost has negative implications on financial inclusion and financial deepening goals in receive markets like India. Now consider XRP a native digital asset that is embedded on the XRP ledger. It can solve this friction by enabling this particular bank, Uzbek Bank, to straight through process funds to its Indian counterparts using XRP as that bridge asset. It is a designer and a bearer asset token, and thus the ownership to it can be transferred by moving an equivalent number of XRP. So we all know how this works. Again, this is just kind of highlighting the process. They talk about settlement and how it's quicker, right? Banknotes and tokens issued directly by the central bank can be settled by physically transferring possession. XRP operates like a banknote on the XRP ledger. As well as we highlight below, Ripple has productized this concept by introducing a feature called on-demand liquidity within RippleNet. So this was when on-demand liquidity, or ODL, was fairly new. Back in 2018, when Ashish Birla made this comment, we were still running on XRapid and XCurrent. So just different names for that product, and eventually they amalgamated it into one. Now, fast forward to this June 2023 document, so 3 years after this was initially released. And down here, guys, if we can get down to where it was mentioned here, I believe it was page 17. Let's just get down here. Right, it was right down here, the conclusion. DLT as a catalyst, not a wrecking ball. Okay, so talking about blockchains and how they were invented as a technology for trustless value exchange, and hence they are usually demanded in cross-border payments. When confidence building prior to actual trade is complicated or impractical, this means above all new products, the new markets, and immature or comprised institutions. Therefore, it should not be a surprise if remittance solutions on permissionless blockchains remain a much sought-after alternative in jurisdictions where pressure on institutional quality improvements has not so far borne the desired fruit. Characteristic of this state of affairs, guys, Ripple is already a household name on the Indian subcontinent. Well, if 5 years ago they had 50%, you can only imagine how much they have today. So they're saying in India, Ripple is already a household name while still being a fairly unknown entity outside expert circles in the West. Boy, doesn't that show you how different much of the rest of the world is to the Western world, okay? I mean, even though we do have, XRP clarity in countries like Canada or the UK, we still aren't seeing that same utility as they do in India, to the point where Ripple is a household name. Think of saying, Googling something. I'm sure that it is something similar over there. Now, let me also remind you guys, this is not even an Indian report. This is a Czech National Bank report. So it has nothing to do with India, but using India as that example, a glowing example of how XRP is being utilized in a country with 1.4 billion people. So amazing news here. Wanted to thank Cyprus Demand and Core here for posting this. XRP right now at 65 cents, guys. I'm not going to lie, I think if you guys are interested, we could see a possible accumulation zone if we do touch this resistance once again. That would be at around 55 cents. We're not there yet. I'm not necessarily hoping for that. But if you're low on XRP, I don't know, you might want to think about that. Not financial advice, obviously, but just tell me down in the comments what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.